today, Rinpoche began his extensive explanation of the perfection of generosity. He began with the definition of generosity and showed how it is caused and what it causes. Decent.
Oh, yeah, thank you. The me passion to strong netting, but passion to strong net. Passion to strong the la, do the genesis to down, so when some between the war.
Let's up.
Do the genesis passion to the true law. That Lubin Sango Zombie Song Jie, Zhang Ab to the Song Rua. That the road Taje, that the old mother Karsurata. That cheese in what said Marvel cheese in Ba. Cheese in what that passion Shindu to what the Jukan Jebere, Jukan Jebers and the Jimba Juge, Tutin Drebo, and Shema Drebotan, Hamangama Jures, cheese in Ba. Then the man sugar in Ba, Tarak in Ba, Kasung Dua.
Lessa. Nipa.
Because Uncle Dan and Larichambo. Ne su poeji na sonja sonja sonro ole akore tinye bare
lessa
shala kore
lessa. So welcome everyone to the Chenrezig Tibetan Buddhist Center. Once again, we're looking at Lama Tsongkhapa's great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment, and specifically the section on training the mind, the stage of the path for beings of great capacity. And then specifically within that section, we come to where Rinpoche begins. Everyone turns to page 111. In the English text, you'll find the category number 2, which is an ancillary discussion of the fixed order of the perfections. And there are 3 categories: the order of arising, the order in terms of inferior and superior, and the order in terms of coarse and subtle. So we've gone through various sections of this text, and when we look at how these 6 perfections are presented, they're presented in 2 ways, or they're presented from the source, from 2 different sources. The first source is Lord Maitreya's Mahayana Sutra Alamkara. So that's the first source that we go through in terms of commentary. And then the other source is a text by Master Hari Bhadra that later we get into. I think the text itself. So all of the perfections are results, and all results are dependent upon causes. So when we look at each of the perfections, and this is what brings us to the specific section on order of arising, you see that each of the perfections is caused by the previous perfection. So that meaning that the perfection of ethics is caused by perfection of generosity, and the perfection of patience by the perfection of ethics, and so forth. So this is where we left off last time, and this is in order to support the certainty of number and the certainty, and then within that an ancillary, the certainty of order. So first is the certainty of number, that there are definitely 6, and then this ancillary discussion is about the certainty that they're in the order that they're in because they have cause and effect relationship with one another. So first we again go through Asanga's we go through the Mahayana Sutra Alamkara explanation, and then Hari Bhadra's explanation, and his long explanation of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra in 8,000 lines. So it's a commentary on the 8,000 verse Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, and it's Hari Bhadra's commentary as explained by Asanga. So, Diksa.
What that cheese in about the Shindu, the Jimba, the college everything, the Jimba, the college everything, the Jimba Tom Pay, the Matumbe, and the Sena Ganyamila, so what the Latin and the Jimba Tom doing with it. Jimba. 다 임바 주셔발된 treating 정거레스 treating 주셔발된 줘봐 주셔발된 전주 되는 상태 셔로 하마하마죠 샤마샤만 되베임버다 what 송도도와
Rinpoche, nga chirwa yore, the Drepon Ganden, the Khensur Dasidan, the Chishena, the Shintu, the Dun yore, Gangin Sena, the Jimba Jugu, the Dasidan do
what the Dasidan the return of
the Yoruba.
Jimba del Jugu, the Kunduji is called Jugu.
Then Chishena Dun yore, Drew Yomari Dun.
Shindu.
Okay. Okay. So we see that these 6 perfections all have cause and effect relationships with one another. So we begin with the perfection of generosity. So in dependence upon reflection of the path and reflection on the benefits of generosity and the downfalls of miserliness and so forth, one begins to engage in generosity that becomes the platform then for the perfection of ethical discipline, which becomes the platform for the perfection of patience. So my question just to Rinpoche was, is there a large debate in the monasteries about, maybe there's 7 because then generosity must have a cause. And whatever that is has to be part of that order of arisal as well. So he said, yes, of course, that's the debate. That's part of the whole, logical explanation. But that gets explained in Overview of Path as a just long story short. But yes, so this is order of arising in terms of the cause and effect relationship that we have presented. Digson Rinpoche.
The Shala Koringa Bala Song Le, Song non Tambudo, Jizim, but the rest, Jizim, but ne Lonshola Matashi Machabi, Jimba Yunas, Ludon Lonshola Machabi, Jimba Duna, Sutin Ungres, Sutin Labashilas, Sutin Ungres, Nienshu Lebadombe, Ludi Nebangagel, Neba, he never do Sutin Yubaina, Sutin Tan, the Dena, then the Nebala Zuba Ungres, Zobanjuros.
Oh, I see.
Kajila Maju, Zobayana, then Dubi Genio, then Sundu Ungres, Sundu J.
So do.
Sundu Nisan, Sundu Tona, then the Sangi, La Mebala, Kuala Lesunu, Tingaziche Ungres, Tingaziche Sona Talaten, then Hadon, Shero Nyaja Ungres. Nyaba Jana Yang, Nyaba Jana, Yantaba Chetawajin, Tuban Jungus, Tony Chetawajin Tubi, and the Sherod Jungres. What about the college Juna? Cheers and Badre.
Tuche. So we go right to the great treatise and we look at the ancillary discussion of the fixed order of the perfections. Then there are 3 categories. So what we've been talking about just now is the first category, the order of arising. So when you have a generosity that is disinterested in and unattached to resources, you take up ethical discipline. When you have an ethical discipline which restrains you from wrongdoing, so what is wrongdoing? It's negativity or non-virtue that's created through one's body, speech, and mind. So it's actual abandonment or restraint of the non-virtues that one creates through those 3 doorways. Rinpoche didn't say this, those 3 things. 3 doorways or 3, those 3 things. So when you have an ethical discipline which restrains you from wrongdoing, parentheses of your body, speech, and mind, you become patient with those who harm you. So then we see how generosity gives rise to ethical discipline gives rise to patience. When you have the patience wherein you do not become dispirited with hardships, the conditions for rejecting virtue are few, so you are able to persevere joyously. So when you have this patience that is generated, this 3rd perfection, it says that you don't become dispirited with hardships. You don't, things aren't as difficult, so it's much easier to have joyous perseverance. So your effort becomes joyful because you don't have these hindrances mentally. Because you're able to be patient relative to them. So then for the conditions for rejecting virtue or refuse, so you're able to persevere joyously. Once you joyously persevere day and night, you will produce the meditative concentration that facilitates the application of your attention to virtuous objects of meditation. So then perseverance gives rise to concentration, single-pointed concentration, being able to application of your attention to virtuous objects of meditation. When your mind is in meditative equipoise, you will know reality exactly. Then this is the perfection of wisdom that is arisen from meditative concentration. So this is how we have fixed order based on order of arising. Decent Rinpoche. Yes, that's so. So we see a much more expanded explanation of how these perfections give rise to one another. And then we've also seen in Nagarjuna's A Precious Garland, where he gives shows the connection between the results that we have in this life, so or in future lives. So just basically the results in a lifetime. So it says from giving comes resources, or sometimes translated as wealth or riches. So generosity. From generosity comes resources or wealth. From ethics comes happiness. From patience, beauty, and from effort or perseverance comes charisma or presence. And from concentration comes peace of mind, and then through wisdom one accomplishes aims, or accomplishes all aims. I could find it, the exact quote. I don't know why I don't have it marked. We do it so much. But those are the how in Nagarjuna's Precious Garland he shows the connection to the actual six perfections and their results in a lifetime. Decent Rinpoche.
Oh yeah. There
it is.
And then Jimba Je. That Jimba the Machi Bala Jeremy Saji, Jimby Mo, Tejibi, Jebala Jubi Tau, Nije, Jimby Radu Yoha, Tundu, Saji Doje.
The guy?
Jimby Mo, Jimba Machi Bala Saji. Lani Chimendo, Lani Chimenda. Jimby Mo, Tejibala Jubi Tau.
Oh, less of it.
Jimby Radu Yoha, the Dagon do us. Jeba Sheja, my duty so I Jirova, such as Jidigua. That Tombo, Jimmy won't Shansa in by Shansa. Jimmy won't that Jirmachukuno Saji Jiro, then Janjabetan Saji Jidizwa. That Jimmy won't Gashena. Jimmy won't Gashena. Ujitan, Ranki, Lula, Matayu, Shanchu Sembi Machabadan, Shanchu Sembi Tojuji. Chenmo Machabadan, Henjibi, Tomadeva Jirwa, Henjibi, Semba Gayim, but Jimba Jawures, 동의 선바 지비스니
Okay, then Rinpoche, the Gonga Mepachik, then the Ngatsu, the Ngama Tsar, the Rapa, Dantramu, the Kanga Tsar, the Jimba Gutso, Ganginsina, the Kashi, the Ewa Sum, the Juje, the Nipa Sumba, the Ngatsu Logomarabe.
다들 가진 로지 진짜 야 로지 진나
Okay. Digson.
야자
Yeah,
야
ngatsu kasa ngatsu de jinsa. Ngene ngatsu konsolagu.
Yeah.
Okay, the ngatsu logomare.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to move on from here because we previously went through this. So Rinpoche just wanted to, quickly give an overview. Then we have the order in terms of inferior and superior, and then the order in terms of coarse and subtle. So now we're going to get into the actual perfection of generosity. And the perfection of generosity is divided into 4 categories in the Great Treatise. What generosity is, how to begin the development of generosity, the divisions of generosity, and then a summary, or a summary. Yeah. So these are the 4 categories, and then it begins with what generosity is. And then we find a quote from Asanga's Shansa from the Bodhisattva levels. And this what generosity is, it actually literally says Jimmy Ngo. Ngo is nature. So generosity is nature. Sometimes that word that I'm using, nature, is the word definition is used. So you could say generosity's definition. Here it says what generosity is. But so I guess ngo, nature, what it is kind of a looser, but the word for nature is there. So I just wanted to make it clear. So it's nature of generosity, which means the definition of generosity. So this section is defining generosity. So that's what the Tibetan words. So just going back to the Nagarjuna's text, I just want to read the exact quote from Hopkins' translation. From giving there arises wealth, from ethics happiness, from patience a good appearance, from effort true brilliance, from concentration peace, from wisdom liberation. So that's the... and then it says, from compassion all aims are achieved. So that's the exact quote. It's the same exact thing that I've been saying the whole time, but that's the exact word-for-word quote of it. So, Digson Rinpoche.
다 제비 고 가시나 네 유지 타지도 라게 르라야마다 유 샤주 세비 마샤바단 해지비 셈바가임바다 jimba deja ures tekun na yu ne jimba sha yu ngobo yongsu ton le dan ngagle to so what the jimba is and this she son batar ton samba gawa dans ton samba gawa de ji ba je tekun na yu le ji jimba dan ngage jimba ni le nga yi son jimba son ja yu res lesos o de ba tambudre.
Okay.
Less
so. Oh, ale ngo the tambo the Jimmy ngo ewaje. Jayan Sheba. Okay, Tuchena. Okay, so in Jayan Sheba's commentary, it states that this first section, the nature of generosity, what generosity is, has 4 categories. So in the 4 interwoven commentaries on the difficult points of the Lamrim Chenmo. Jayan Sheba's commentary on this section says there's 4 points made. So the first point is as follows. It's from Asanga's Bodhisattva levels. And it says, the Bodhisattva level says, what is the nature of generosity? It is the intention accompanying Bodhisattvas' disinterested non-attachment to all their possessions and their body, and motivated by this, the physical and verbal actions of giving the things to be given. So this is the definition of generosity according to Asanga. Hence, it is the virtue of and then Lama Tsongkhapa then expands. Hence, or summarizes and expands. Hence, it is the virtue of a generous attitude and the physical and verbal actions which are motivated by this. Decent.
단이 바워도 집이 바로 심바들에도 집이 바로 심바 집이 바로 심바라 주의 집이 바로 심바다 데베 바로 심바니요로 주의 바로 집이 바로 심바서는 자주 sempre 주지 심바데 주의 바로 심바스 사제고 또 주의 심바 예자 주의 집이 바로 심바스 사제가 도주지 심바데
Less Nipa.
Yeah.
Okay, and now the second category we're going to get into the actual perfection of generosity and what the point of that is. So when we look at perfection of generosity, we say that there's two categories. There's causal perfection of generosity and resultant perfection of generosity. So the perfection of generosity which is being practiced, which isn't perfect yet, by a bodhisattva is the causal perfection of generosity. So the generosity being practiced on the bodhisattva path is causal perfection of generosity. Then resultant perfection of generosity is the generosity that a Buddha engages in. So the perfect generosity of a Buddha is the resultant perfection of generosity. So there's causal perfection of generosity. And you could make it read easier, but it wouldn't be literal by saying what the causes of the perfection of generosity, the resultant perfection generosity. Resultant perfection generosity. So that's literally what it means. The causes for that perfection, and then that actualization of that perfection. So that's what causal and resultant's referring to. Bodhisattva path being the causal, the resultant perfection being the Buddha's generosity. So this is the next second point we're going to get into, Jamin Sheba says. Okay?
Nipa,
the Kabiyare, the Puik.
Nipa dala jimba paru de shimbanes. Nipa dala jimbi paru de shimbanes. What did Sonja Jure Tatadro? Dala jimbi paru de shimbane. Jija zela, Jila tan yu, Ruana Jua, Paul Mututes, Jimbi paru de shimbala, Jimba tane, Ruaka Shubuzu Mares. 수수기 짐비 생도 고나 동생도 고네 타신도나 짐비 바로 드신 말마도 네 노아 참아 슈부주고 말레스 메드데 다다 마이너스 다돈 노아 템보 도마 유베스 네 하마가 소지도 짐비 바로 마신 바탈 다다 노아 템보 유베 주부 뭐 유베 하마도 짐비 바로도 마신 바탄도 그레스 다다 마이나 다돈 로아점부 도마유베 로아점부 쭈부서다
the Sanjay Omari
안는 한번 사지 짐이 바르도 마신스라고 지그레스 짐이 바르도 생을 돌려 짐바도 공원에 바르도 심바레마도 네 짐바다는 강가 슈부주고 말레스
레스
조로스 what about 니바레마라.
Okay, so now the second category is this, or second point. Bringing the perfection of generosity to completion is not contingent on removing beings' poverty by giving gifts to others. Otherwise, since there still remain many destitute living beings, all the earlier conquerors would not have attained perfect generosity. So the perfection of generosity isn't dependent on the recipient having their poverty completely removed. It's the mindset of the being who's engaging in the generosity. Because if it required all beings to have all poverty removed and all destitute conditions removed, then since there are still those conditions, the consequence would be that there are no Buddhas, because there are no perfect and there are no beings that have perfected generosity. So Buddha is perfect in all ways, so there isn't one missing piece. So that would mean there's no Buddhas if it was contingent or required that the perfect generosity meant that the result was there was no more poverty. So it's just making the point that it's the mindset of willingness, going back to the actual, you go back to the definition of what it is, and the motivation, the intention accompanying this non-attachment that's motivated to give with body, speech, and then mind. Decent. So we say that generosity is the cause of enjoyments or wealth. So how does Hopkins translate longshu? Wealth. Okay, so we say that from generosity, wealth arises. So from a causal perspective, is this an actual direct cause or primary cause, or is it a cooperative condition? Which among these is it? So then it says, from ethics arises happiness. So is this arisal of happiness, is this a direct cause or a substantial cause, or is it a cooperative condition when we say that ethics gives rise to happiness? Is it a cooperative condition, or is it a direct cause or substantial cause?
So then
we move on to the next topic of patience and say the same thing. We say that patience gives rise to beauty. Is it a direct cause, substantial cause, or is it a cooperative condition? Which among these is it? Among these two is it?
So we say
So to make an example so it's able to be understood, if we use the example of a mango tree, the mango tree's seed is its substantial cause, and then the sunlight and the water and all of these other things around it are the cooperative conditions. So this is an example that makes it very easy to understand what the difference between this substantial cause and the cooperating condition is. Decent Rinpoche.
What is Saji Jimar Jidine, that's no better. Jimbadala and the Yiji Shebi Jimbatan, Ludan Agi Jimba, Zugaras and the Yiji Sheba Zures, Ludan Nagi Jimba to Pepares,
Less
so Yiji Sheba is what the Sumba Teredo.
Okay.
Then a Ludan Nga Matui, Luji Jimba Nagi Jimba Zumares. And sen tu joba de yiji sheba zures da rala dubi le dan rala dubi le dan longshe gaza tangji le sana senin zeba jone jela samba taba ne tongshin sa ta jeba tondu ta le dan longshe jeba tondu de le dan longshe le chabe sana de bon goro sana le nyebo goro Tonjin. Tezan to mazes. Nejibi paru de shimba sagante, sana bomba tan nejibi paru de shimba sagmares. Sana bomba teme dajumba le yoares, sana nyedires. Tima Dajumba Yenza, Nyandika Ponsabare, Sana Ponsares, Sana Ponsabare de Nyana Dajun de Jimmy Parudishima Mares, what the heading do. That's on the Maze, Tan Yu, Jebu, Jebu Najan, Sejen La Dari, Lu Gombala, Gomba Yunsu Zuba Le, Jimmy Parudishima, Yushuros, Timel de Mares. Tata Yimba Yang, Susung to Suna Shuju and Shuju. Shuju Le, Ketan Drua Yuboa, Jimmy Parishina, Tadun Rutin, Yuanang, Juba Jeta Parishin, Duba Tanjin Dejete, Jugula, Tansenje, Jimmy Parishin on there. The Tibetan Senyi do. What the Dama de Kung things are Kung. Ne Shunjulis, Ketendo Yuboa, Jimmy Parishina, Tadun Roten Yuanang, Tanda do Sinja Juba Momadona, Pen Sanji to do, Jimmy Paru the Kanasimbares. Jimmy Parishina, Yubaka Shubazugobaina, and what the China, what the Google Maris, Jimmy Tonsente, Paru de Shimbaina, and Jimmy Parishimba and Dua, Yubukalo, Shubazugu Maris, Tadun Rutin Yuanang, Juba Jeta Parishin, Nema Shaja Tubala Soba, Paru Shimba and Shimbaris, Tanda and Rojubu, Beja, Tasitan the Marba. Duba Tanjin Dejete, Jugula, Jimbatan, Jimbi Jebutin, Sijan Hogres, Sijan Hogin, out the Abuores. Duba Tanjin Dejete, Duba and the Jimbatan at Duba Rota. Tin Jebutin, Sijan Hoade, and the Abushirares. Duba Tanjin Dejete. Jugula, Tansenji, Senja Tangela, Tan Senjis, Jimba Mazi, Jimbi Jebutin, Senjela Tangores, Tan Senji, Ne Jimmy Parishiba Son Yuares, Jimmy Parishin Son de Tibetan Senyi Dosa, Tu Yichiba Teresa inside Nama to Sentus at Insaroa, Sheso. What about you, Jana?
Okay. So that was number 2. And just as a quick translator's note, the definition of a substantial cause is a main producer, which is the type which continues to the substantial effect. And the definition of cooperative condition is a main producer, which is not of the type which continues to its cooperative effect. So those are the 2 definitions, just as an aside, because Rinpoche mentioned it a few times. So now we are at number 2 is completed. I'll just read number 2 through just in case, and then show you where number 3 begins. Bringing the perfection of generosity to completion is not contingent on removing beings' poverty by giving gifts to others. Otherwise, since there still remain many destitute beings, all the earlier conquerors would not have attained perfect generosity. Number 3 begins, therefore, the physical and verbal aspects of generosity are not the main thing. The main thing is the mental aspect. So when we look at the 3 ways to be generous through one's body, speech, and mind, it's the actual mind which is the chief, the main collector of the virtue of generosity. This is because you perfect generosity after you destroy your stingy clinging to all that you own, your body, resources, and roots of virtue, and you completely condition your mind to giving them away to living beings from the depths of your heart. And not only that, but also to giving to others the effects of this giving as well. Thus, engaging in the bodhisattva deed says, if generosity were perfected by removing beings' poverty, since beings are still destitute, how could past saviors have perfected it? Generosity is perfected, it is said, through the attitude of giving away to all beings all your possessions along with the effects of this. Therefore, generosity is a state of mind. So it's the state of mind of willingness to, because of this lack of attachment, etc., give anything needed to benefit a being. That's the springboard for all of these other activities of speech and physical activities, if you in a looser translated way. Geshe Rinpoche.
Oh yeah, that ne.
Sumbatsar.
Da jimbi ngo, da jimbala jubi taught marba. Jimbala jubi taught. Jimbala jubi taught la ngo dang. Le dambu yu mensi dang. Doju saji sung ding duwa. Dambu.
The Rinpoche, the Jimbi ngo Jayan Sheba Ewa Je. Dene Shunju Sumba. Shunju the long
da ngo
Sumba.
nalu marba de.
Dene Jipa Gare.
Ngo nalu jiro. Jiba.
The God
Jiba tema tela jimbi paru jimbi nyalenes. Dena jimbi paru jimbi nyalene. Ngo tu ze jen la tonga me jans. Jimbi nyalen de wo ngo tu ze jen la tonga me na ya. Dongsen gongnan de res dongsen. Tonga me jang. Dong yu senba go doma ne jie jin. Jibi do tonga la de ne wo de jiba de do jiba.
Okay. Lesson. Then Asa.
Yeah.
Okay, and then number 4 is after the quote from Shantideva, we find this. Thus, the practice of the perfection of generosity entails generosity, generating in various ways, or practicing in various ways the intention to give, and steadily increasing this generosity, even though you may not be actually giving away something to others. So this intention is increasing, even though you may not be physically giving anything away. Your generosity is increasing daily. That should be your practice, that it's growing, that your generosity is growing, increasing. Disung. Dene?
Oji, tata nipa jimbala jubi taudrwa.
Lesa.
Nipa jimbala jubi taudla nguyen dang le dangbo la mensi nye je, nipa je, dojo do song duwa song. Ta dangbo sena dang, cha dang ji nye me dang, dangbo la, dangbo la sena dang, cha dang ji nye me dangbo je. Dongsen ju zui nyi duwa. Ta dangbo sena dang, shen cha ji nye me de la juji re juji, saji juji, juji re juji nang dangbo de re.
Nipa juje irbe.
Ane.
Ale.
Nguyen dang dangbo nyi le se. Nguyen de la juji re do juji. Nguyen de la juji. Juji nang dangbo de re. Dangbo.
Matsu Kaba Reson, so 365. It's gotta be down here. Nipa Ludang Lonshu La Sena. Okay, Rason. Gonga Mebachi Nge Cheek Jason. One thing I missed from before is just going back. This just cued me. It's going back to what generosity is in the various categories. When we got to the third category, where it's saying that just getting rid of stinginess, just getting rid of miserliness alone is not the perfection of generosity, because Henianists actually get rid of this. When we look at the afflictive obstructions, they become foe destroyers, so they have gotten rid of this miserliness, but they haven't perfected generosity because this mental state of motivation isn't there. So it was something I forgot from before, so I just wanted to make sure I included that. So now we go to number 2 among those 4 categories, and it says how to begin the development of generosity. And I think it literally says the method for generating generosity in the Tibetan. I think it says top. so there are 18 categories apparently in this section, according to Jayan Sheba. So we'll find them. Okay, Juje.
Juje nan dambu tere le dan longshu la sena ma le chongba zangji le dan longshu la sena meba zangji sena chongba zangji yimi paru de shima rogo mares yimi pashin tu menjo te sena de cha ji cha tongba yimbe sena de cha do yin san yue ri res teme da jongba bongcha res teme da jongba tu ne yimi paru de shima se mares yimbe ge sena jongcha res to ba yimbe teme da jongba ni je jang ne tu da jong da raja da jong ni je jang sena sabyon da je ba malu ba bombi sharosa sama sena sabyon da je ba malu ba ne tu da jong da raja da jong pon sabare ne tu da jong da raja da jong du so ne yimbe paru de shima se mares bombi sharosa da ni ba tere ni ba 디시 동유 게 스니 군든 제바 세와 장도 마제 네 집에 버리듯이 심발아 가르고 그랬었는데 그거에 손 다지르면서 디시 동유 동아 심바로 심바기 게드 스나로 스나 네 스니 군든 제바 스나 bomba 장도 마제 두바 타지 젤라 동유 삼바 타바네 네 동생 제고레스 동생 제고소스 어디바드니 바래 디셔 임베게 스나본바 장제 임베 바르시마서 마레스 네 대마제 두바 타지 젤라 동유 삼바 타바네 제고소스 두바 타지 젤라 동유 네 동생을 공고레스 샤주 삼바즈마도 테멘주 대 동생을 공부 매들어 집에 버리지 바이세죠 말이스 스나본에 잡아요 말이스
the tambo the nipa
okay 디시 스니게 군든 제바 세와 정도 마제스 아니 집에 버리지 발라 가르고 그래서나 스니게 짐베게 스나 세와 정도 마제 두바 타지 젠라 또 삼바 타바는 공고레스 공바 타신 것들 준비 버리셔서 오레스 제고소스 니바레.
Okay. So just bear with me on this, the break points on it. I just want to make sure I catch, because it's not, I'm going to try. Simply destroying all stinginess in regard to your body and resources is not the perfection of generosity. For stinginess is included within attachment, and so even the two kinds of Hinayana arhats have totally eliminated along with its seeds. So the afflictive obstruction, so it along with its seeds is the afflictive obstructions, that which causes it and itself. So it's not talking about those imprints that are the subtle ones left over that are obstructions to omniscience. That's not what seeds means here. Seeds is referring to those afflictive obstructions. So the Hinayana foe destroyer of two types, the hearers, which are the Shravakas, and the solitary realizers, which are Prachika Buddhas, have both reached nirvana. They are foe destroyers. They have gotten rid of miserliness, but they do not have the perfection of generosity. And then number 2 point is, what is required then is that you not only clear away stinginess as tight-fistedness, which prevents giving things away, but also that you develop from the depths of your heart the intention to give away to others all of your possessions. So it's this mental state that has to be there. Not just this lack of stinginess. It's an actual active thing that your mind is doing, wanting to give, as opposed to just not being stingy. It's an activity that it's wanting to give. As a It's different. One is just an absence of, and the other is an active wanting to give. Miserly, not being miserly doesn't mean you're actively wanting to be generous. It just means that you aren't stingy when asked. But this is just actively always wanting to give, not just not being miserly. So that's number 2, I believe. That's the second break point. Okay, Khensur Rinpoche.
다 짐비 데버들 롱셔 말바 짐비 데버 롱셔 든도 있다라 해봐다 nendu tenla meba ni yores dendu tenla meba tsujin la le yores tsujin mogu jubung tsujin da genye tsujin da suta tsujin shanseng tsujin do la den dendu ten to bayina den jembi longe de dendu hada me tenla me yores ne ten dendu ten to meba ina ne jembi longe de ngandu tenla me yores nanga so shadna shudu do kuzul ne jemi de do ta kuzul san kuzul dawa yoro te jemi de marba jemi de bot nga son tel maison ro da shad shu kuzul khalas ni jemi do kuzul o te jemi de bot nga ro tel maison marba jemi de do te nga ro tel maison eda du je lo la so bot se tel maison yi so de ten de ten ma to na ane jembe longe de l'autant eda de sujet la sorte c'est tel minde is ne tondo dans de c'est tel minde is marba
Tsuchi mena
en tsuchi mena de todo maro
lesa
ane tel longe de tel minde maro
lesa
ta tondo dans l'autant eda de sujet chez cho to c'est
lesa okay so
ane shadan shu to la ten kutul doando ta jembe de bote
less so. So the results of previous actions give rise to experiences in various different ways and in various different realms. So for instance, one can engage in a lot of generosity, but that does not necessarily mean that that generosity gives rise to a higher realm rebirth of the gods and humans, because we see many cases where, for instance, certain animals have a lot of resources, have a lot of wealth. They're able to have food very easily. They have a very nice place to stay, whereas others do not. You see birds that have more things than others, that have an easier way of living than others. And you also find many stories of even hungry ghosts and spirits and so forth that are quite wealthy and have large amounts of resources, but they are in the lower realms of existence. So if the ethics aren't there, then the generosity will just give rise to a concordant result. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be in a higher realm. It may be an experience in a lower realm of some sort of happiness that occurs while you're residing there, and that happiness was a result of a major generosity that you engaged in a previous life. But if it's not coupled with ethical discipline, then it does not give rise to higher realm rebirth. So the ethical discipline becomes a cooperative. It cooperates with it to give rise to the realm as well as the good experience within the realm. So the experience within the realm can be produced even in a lower realm. A good experience within the realm can be produced even within a lower realm, but the aim is in a higher realm, which requires other things than generosity, mainly ethics.
Somba de la yonzo zonyu, le dans l'enjeu, yonzo zonyu niemi. Tel chaba jen jun yores, ne jema tangi na pen chebres, gombe and the jobasha was what they net to the shegures one said.
So then, number 3, for this you have to meditate on the faults of holding on to things and the benefits of giving them away. I shall therefore discuss these. Then de lung sumba? Okay. Then the quote is also included within number 3.
Long to what Dodma do in a tenju now. Do mendo. Do in Saro, Dodmendo.
Khandra Pradipa Sutra.
Roaju learn the dance, Roaju le, and then I should learn the Ruba numbers, Ruba. Ratimarbe. Ruba numbers. Roaju learn the dance. Suja, you are Sujan, you are omagins. Su the air, not to run your mothers. Let on your vision agents. Let on your more gazi pension, not a day madu. Then the do some sanders. Rame, but legation agents. Sujan, you are omagin, rame, but is. Ne Malanda Juma Malanda Bure, Jumanda Bures, Malalu the Tinta Putusun to do Jumache. Ne Jumas and what that Trubatin is a mill zed Shuayu Marbe. That a language to Jumas Roda Juma can dishin talent to Treatise, Hansi mill levis. Zenam the nigga what the shin mill the shuba ina, shin to the tan of the language to one than mendo. Malandon, Juma. Shebanda da chabina, what the tabi, Malandon da you lulong shot to the land, Sheba Suzu, the chad of yours, chabina. Shindu maron leisure, what the chaba the Sheba in the Latin laying about sagres. Shindu marun leshete dibe on to sonda meke cheda jembe sonsa ne meke ba to cheda jemba cheda ke ta so numero cheda jembe son tada mate senyen ros de lenga ba saba yin ta tin rebele ne senyen nyawala so to sul chen gres tada maze nyawandro she le mazawata su rezaji chodar yuwa le su niga leji le inanda su inanda leji yongwa jendes rangwa yo mares yongwa jen yinbe rangwa yu da meba dan rangwa yu da meba rangwa da droba rangwa meba inza da meba dan malanto juma tabo jumba tenes tuso ngalo malanto juma na jumba tagores deba droba ta jo mares deba droba ta sun tela din chaba che wadin lenga sa na nyawan che balo so din drebunga ba yongres tela chaba ga kude te malu na chabi on chaba de malu na le longsho la chaba de malu na chaba de yoba ina tene chabi jiwan de sonde nyeshe chenmo na sa ne le je magawa da ngage magawa yije magawa diba che sa ne ngandun ro somba dans what about jibare.
Okay. The Moon Lamp Sutra, these childish people are attached to this rotting body and to this rushing life force, both of which lack independence and are like a dream or a magician's illusion. So these unintelligent beings do terrible things, fall under the control of sin, and carried away by the chariot of death's lord, proceed to unbearable hells. Rinpoche, the Dawe Do, the Sumba, Rube. The Lung, Sumba?
Sumba da drumin do dro, da
Okay.
drumin da.
Then the Lung Sar Jipa Gutso?
Ruwa jubi lundin sujin yuwa wame jin, malang juman dawa, sheba, dada chabi na. Dene marun le she te, dibi wanto sunwa tang, meke cheda yuebe sun. Dada maze niwan she lu mazangwa tang, su rezaji, chudara yuwa tang, le su ni ka le ji, jiwa jin yinbe, rangwa yu da me ba dans, malang to juma, tabu jumba res, jumba tene, tala chaba de ga gu res, chaba de maga na ti wang ga le sa ne, nga sun jeba la su, rebe nga ma yung res, chaba de ga gu de, te malu na chabi wang to sun de, nyan shue chenpo na sa ne, nga run ruwa, ane tunru la su, tisu jiwa sun yuwa res, somba dans, wadaba tu
Kabir,
jiba dhruva, jiba.
Jipa Kabagutso. The Dong?
Jiba dawa drama.
Sumba.
Jiba dawa drama. Somba dhala yungsu sunyu, nyemi da tangi penyo se, dama tez madhumadwa. Jiba dawa.
Nyeme the Sumba?
Somba dhala yungsu sunyu, nyemi da.
Tambo?
Tomba dama le chinsa sunyu ta.
Tambo? Nipa. The Dawi Lung Jipa? The Lung.
Dawa drama to jiba.
Ale.
Ruwa jubi luenda tang, sujan yuwa ome jin, mulang juma tabola, sheba nang chabe, shindu marun le she de, debi wanto sunwa tang, meki sheda yunbe sun. Tada mazi sentient nyewaan le chigdes. She lu ma zangwa tang, da jirim ma sebi zong mariba. Lu ma zangwa tang, su de rezaji chudar yuwa, tenbi yuwa maris, lu tong su kanga, mataba res. Lu su nye ka, le ji yungwa jen yinbe, rangwa mebi, da meba dans, malang tu yuma taba res, malang tu yuma taba jumba de ne, tala chaba de ga gu res, ga gu de, te malu na, chabi wang ki nga sun tu je de, nyan shui chenpo na sa ne, nga run zhuwa songpa dans, wadaba de jiba re.
Okay. So, just real quickly, what number were we on before? What number did I say that the quote from the Moon Sutra was? 3. Okay, so Rinpoche is saying that the benefits for this meditate on faults of holding on to things and the benefits of giving them away, and the benefits of giving them away is 3, and then number 4 starts with the sutra. And it goes all the way to, I'll read to where it goes all the way to. So, the Moon Lamp Sutra says, these childish people are attached to this rotting body and to this rushing life force, both of which lack independence and are like a dream or a magician's illusion. So these unintelligent beings do terrible things, fall under the control of sin, and carried away by the chariot of the Death's Lord, proceed to unbearable hells. This says that you should stop attachment by viewing the body as unclean, life as rushing like a mountain cascade, both body and life as devoid of an independent self because they are under the control of karma and are both as false like a dream or a magician's illusion. Furthermore, if you do not stop attachment, you will become dominated by it, build up great wrongdoing, and proceed to miserable realms. So this is Lama Tsongkhapa explaining the quote. So that's number 4. 1, 2, 3. I see. That's number 4. Okay, Digsun Rinpoche.
Da nga ba go tayi ba sa dre nga ba. good taiba drubi zone legends, good taiba drubi zone, do yina, then you in the ginger. Carrendo.
Ako mar ngay sa nga.
Or the nga.
Ananta Mukha Niharna Dharani. Nga Gimbadra.
Good taiba drubi zone legends. And Sentient Kanda Kaji Zunjo was Sentient Kanda Kaji Zunjo, Sentient Nabu Zabayoroda, Zunjoa. Tea is a Yonson Zimbabwe. Is that China the Batuba dancing the rest on the way? Is that Yonson Zimbabwe? The day Kala Siba Joa Mons. The day Kala Siba Joasa. Chukala the Batuba dancing to Yena. They couldn't allow the shot to hold to check Marva. What they should not have a matter done, till I may be Chabadan, controllers of a Pongo race. Yes, I also Zimbabwe, the day Kala, Sebanjo Pons, the shot to controllers over the Mamadu done, Pongo race. Chuna the Mamadu Shezuna, Denzil no degree, Denzil Debo, the child no degree, control no enter that. Tete Kala Seba Joa Pong Seba Pong Shenas, Seba Doshat Pong Shena Pomba Shena Zun Sunjoro She Dansa Zun Sunjoros Seba Pona Zun Chanur Sevena She Dan. That drove the Ladu.
Let's see.
Trouble Ladu legends, Ladu in the Shenju Tongate. Shenju the Ladu Euro, Jessica Shavalai, Shenju the Ladu Euro, Ladu Lusondos, Ladu.
Let's see.
Ladu legend, the Darrer, Dagulu the Saint, Kejire, Roani, Dagulu the Saint to come Matabare, Tabamare, Kukaji Kajino, Ores, Kejire, Roani. Kete da kete mata tripobe leje taji tremenje shanju toba jonanes na kete es le dans l'enjeu de mata basan tambayina teno ko de Daniel no negre tege ane Chuna Dema to be Shiro to be Jewish, Deboma to be Joe. Bobby Luigi Tajin, Tremenches, Lutabanzime, Tanji Tramameba, Shanchu Toban Jugres, Shanchu Toba, Netu Shanchutan, Rajesh Shanchutan, Tejin Shanchu Toban Jugres, Temebaina, Netu Shanchu, Rajesh Shanchu, Tejina Tebachimbi Shanchu. Sanji Togres, Tobanjunane, Dena, Zemen Yeminas, Nangasu, what the Ritama Bangasu Label Lebo Marves, Leo is Nazu, Suzo Santana, or something said, Shetan, Jero Lejan, Jero Ronjang, Jero Sujuba in Jero.
The Kanga Ngapa, the Laptun Drupa. Share up